So, ladies and gentlemen, I just got back from seeing Captain America, Brave New World. And I thought, you know what? Why don't I make a brand new thing where I do a review of a film, sort of talking about my review and how I thought of certain films. And sadly, the one to start it off, because I'm thinking, I said on a live stream the other day that I wasn't going to make much content. And then it kind of sparked in my head as soon as I got home. I was like, as I was texting my friends, I was like, about this film, blah, 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 which we'll get into. I thought, hey, I could sit down and make a movie review, and that could be some sort of new thing I record just to put a bit of content out there. Some people might like it. So Captain America, Brave New World. What was my opinions? What was my thoughts? Obviously it's going to be a spoiler review. All right. So if you don't want any spoilers, I'll tell you now. If you just want a genuine, honest review, it was fine. It wasn't the greatest thing I've ever seen. 7.5 out of 10. There you go. Go watch it at your own risk, but don't rush to the cinema. That's basically the shortened version. Okay, so now here is... You know what? We'll make it a thing. The Savo spoiler reviews. Here we go. Right, so... Captain America, Brave New World. My honest reviews of this film. I walked out that cinema after the end credits. There was one end credits, which we will get into in this video. I walked out just going, just a whole load of meh. What was all that about? You know what I mean? It was just a bit, could have been better, could have been worse. But yeah, I just reckon they could have had more to it. There could have been a lot more action. They could have cut out a lot more of the talky bits, because the whole film is literally just talky bits. I would have said, right, the hour I think was like 2 hours long, something like that. The whole hour and a half of the film is just talking. And then 30 minutes of it is just action, split every sort of half an hour of the film. So there's 2 hours. Every half an hour there's something big that happens. And it was, yeah, it wasn't needed. I felt like this was an entire sort of movie that should have been a Disney Plus series. I sort of sat down, watched it, walked out, went, it was alright, it was, could have been better. Sat down in the car and I was like, that was just a Falcon and Winter Soldier season 2 into a 5-episode series just slammed together into one to make a film. They could have just jotted them down and made an entire series, whether it been a Captain America series called The Brave New World or something like that, or I still think it should have been Captain America World at War or something like that. I would have preferred that. I would have said that title fits this film. It is all about politics. It's all about war. But yeah, we'll just sort of shorten it down into bits that I can remember of the film, and express it on sort of what I liked, what I didn't like, from start to finish of the film. So it starts just basically you're watching a news broadcast after Aiden Ross, which is Harrison Ford's character, he was a good character, don't get me wrong. He gave out a speech, obviously, to say like, hey, I'm the president now and all this shit. And then it showed a news broadcast about his election and how Aiden Ross and stuff from the Incredible Hulk film, which was one of the first Marvel films, with Abomination and the Hulk when they're like running in the streets, and Abomination's like ripping open the cars and stuff like that. So I was like, ooh, we got a little Hulk and Abomination, the Incredible Hulk film cameo. I was like, first off, that's kind of promising. Could Hulk show up? Borderline, no, he didn't. There was certain bits like in the trailer that people are theorizing that there's like a scene. I might just put it here, like a little snippet. There's a scene where Cap, I need to keep on saying Cap because he's obviously still going to be Cap, he's no longer Falcon. Cap's standing there, and there's this really huge guy who looks like he's badly CGI'd in, and he could portray a Hulk, and the Marvel's just trying to hide it as Hulk. And that's at the end of the film, and they're like getting rid of rubble. And then that scene happens, that picture there, and it's just like, in my mind, when he was getting the rubble taken off of him, I was thinking, oh my God, could it be Hulk? Could it be the Hulk coming now and picking up the rubble? And he's like, right, okay, yeah, Cap, no worries, yeah, let me sort this Red Hulk bastard out. Let me just go over there and whoop ass. That's what I was hoping for. And then it was just like, no, we're going to have a huge talk to the Hulk. The sun's going really low on you, motherfucker. And that's kind of what it was. It was just Falcon talking to Red Hulk about his daughter. I can't remember her name, but the chick from Incredible Hulk. I'm just called Miss Ross. You'll know who I'm talking about. It's literally in there, out the other. She shows up as a little cameo. Pretty cool. We got a cameo from Bucky as well, which was kind of cool. Anyway, I'm going to continue on that path. So, yeah, there was that little sort of cameo from the Incredible Hulk on a news broadcast, which was kind of cool. To which we then find the leader, which if you don't know the leader, he's the sort of green dude with the big head and stuff. Marvel's kept it away from trailers. There's a reason why. He looks a bit worse for wear. He doesn't look comic book accurate. He looks like someone's just had acid chucked on him. That's literally how he looks. And it's just like, I'd prefer him to have like a huge exposed green brain. But no, it literally just looks like he's got some pimples that are on my back. That's literally how he looks. He looks like my back in green. That's how the dude looks. But he was played very well. The leader, I hope, because in the end credits, which I'll talk about in a moment, he is in the end credits. So it means that, you know, he's still there. He could be a threat in the Avengers films, which could actually work out all right, actually, because he played a brilliant villain. Then we have, keep on forgetting the guy's name and the name of the character in the film, but I'll put a picture of him. Moff Gideon from Mandalorian, that's the only way I can think of him. That character, he was portrayed very well, and I felt like he was kind of the baddie of the film. He was pretty much of, you know, the actiony bits, and the kind of, ooh, there's a bit of this, and there's a bit of that, and ooh, it was all on him. And then there was sort of a murder mystery side with, like you know, like that thriller kind of experience with the leader. And then Red Hulk was just an 8-minute sort of throwdown that we will get into that. What a load of crap. It, as you can kind of hear it in my voice, can't you? It was just a whole load of nah. It wasn't. People are saying it's worse than the Marvels. I highly disagree. The Marvels was a big load of crap. This film was not that. It was just fine. It could have been better. But on my mind's eye, they could have been so much better. We'll get into the score. But yeah, let me just sort of finish up on how it kind of went down. Without spoiling it too much, in case you just kind of want to listen to little bits of spoilers and then go watch it for your own sort of enjoyment. Yeah, there was a little bit of Bucky. Basically, them talking about like the Falcon dude, Adonis, something like that. I can't remember his name. The Mexican dude who's now Falcon, I believe he's Mexican. he did like a dive bomb. There was this huge boat battle scene. And that reminds me, actually, let me sidetrack that for a minute. What come first after that was Aidan Ross, Harrison Ford's character. He's confirmed that adamantium is in the MCU, which is basically the stuff that Wolverine has. So the adamantium claws, it come from a celestial being from Eternals. If you watch the Eternals film, there was a celestial being that dropped from the sky. Was in the sky, they defeated him, and he dropped down into the sea, rotted away, and now he's like stone, but he's got all this science and tech and stuff still inside of him. America and Japan and all these places have gone inside of it, found it, come out with adamantium. Cool stuff to know. Would have been kind of cool if we had like a series that had that sort of brushed aside, but oh no, we've just got it now. Adamantium's here. We've heard everyone's love and support from Deadpool and Wolverine. We need more Wolverine. Henry Cavill's just signed a deal to be Wolverine, the MCU's Wolverine. Let's just get adamantium out of nowhere. Fair enough, mate. You do you. I'm not going to complain. Anyway, so that celestial thing is now in the water. And they're having this dogfight, which is like Top Gun dogfight, which is really good because we watched it in 3D IMAX. And it was pretty good. That was probably one of the highlights of the film, was the dogfight scene. It was pretty damn good. And there was loads of missiles coming to this ship, which they're trying to like obviously avoid and stop it from blowing up, which at this moment of time, Aidan Ross is on the phone to the leader, which is going to make him turn into the Red Hulk, but he gives in because he's like, nah, and a woman walks in. And that was a cool scene. I liked that. Major thing of this film that annoyed me the most was, I can't remember her name because I'm not going to remember her name because she annoyed me through the film. Don't get me wrong. Fine part, okay, the character, if you think of it as a Marvel character, fine. However, the woman portraying this character, in my eyes, it was annoying, and I just didn't think she was needed in the film. That's just my take. Not everyone's going to be the same, not everyone's going to have, the same point of views, the same, but personally, her voice was annoying. Her character was annoying. She was just annoying through the film. And it was like, why are you here? There was no connection in the story whatsoever that I clocked onto anyway. I was dropping off a lot through the film as well. There's a lot of just yawning and just like, oh, this is boring, whatever. There's a whole load of boring. And then it's like, oh, this is cool. And it's like, oh, boring again. Oh, that's kind of cool. Boring again. And yeah, it was just that female character. She had not much to do with the story. She was basically the dude from Falcon and Winter Soldier, who was the first serum user for the Captain America serum. He went to prison because basically Mr. Blue, which is a song, is like a trigger, like a tick that makes people with the serum go crazy. And which the dude from Falcon and Winter Soldier, what's his name, Burroughs or something like that, I can't remember his last name, something like that. He goes insane and tries to shoot the president and stuff like that because obviously he was a war veteran, he was an original. Anyway, don't really matter. He's in prison, and this chick who I'm on about is the dude's like investigator, and that's literally her only connection to this film. But for some odd reason, she's still in the film because she's a widow. Because if you know, like, there goes my remote. Yeah, if you know the Black Widow films, there was a group called the Widows, from what I can remember. She's a part of that group, but no connection whatsoever in that film. It was like the Falcon dude, he was doing a little bit of research on her on the computer, and it's like, oh, she's a widow. Oh, okay, cool. And then, like, later on through the film, it was just like, oh, she just done a little wall kick on the wall that kind of showed her badassery. Didn't really have, like, batons, or she had the Black Widow suit. Nothing. It was just literally just, oh, I'll wear my little blazer thing. I'll kick ass for, like, 2 seconds. And then it's just like, oh, I'm back to an agent again. I'm sorry, what was her character? She wasn't really needed in the film. The leader had some very sinister bits, very, like, evil bits, very tapped in the head character, and I quite like that about a character, especially a villain. If they've got something wrong with them to the point where it's like, oh, he's menacing, he's cool, he's a good villain, I'm going to be like, yeah, you know what, bring him more of that character on. And I'm telling you, the leader, bring him on. He's with the end credits and with his character portrayed in this film, bring him on. He's wicked. He's a wicked villain, so I like that. Anyway, stuff goes on. Goes to have an a press conference, that's the word I'm looking for. Aidan Ross. And then he's sort of talking, whatever. The leader comes onto the radio, and is talking about, like, her daughter and, like, all the lies and the conspiracies about him, which makes him angry to turn into Red Hulk. Cap comes out of nowhere, starts fighting Red Hulk, and then they go on to this sort of strip of pink flowers, which her daughter loves, walking in the fields of pink flowers. That's why they're battling with pink flowers. And the CGI was dreadful. Like, there's a bit where Cap is standing there, like Anthony Mackie standing there, looking up at Hulk, talking to him, and you can tell he's in a green screen room because the sun's on his right, like, the sun's by here where my hand is. And the back of his head is facing that way, so there's a glare by here. Like, my head's here, there's the sun off in that distance. You can see grey parts by here, yeah? Tell me why there's a sunlight coming from here. It was like, it just didn't make sense. You could tell, like, he had lights all around him in a studio and he was being green screened. It was very much Doctor Who CGI from the BBC. That's how I looked at it. Like, BBC, don't get me wrong with the CGI for Doctor Who and stuff like that. You're BBC, you're going to get what you get. But you're Marvel, you're a billionaire company, or multi-millionaire company. I don't know how much money they got. Maybe even a trillionaire company, you know what I mean? And they had reshoots. That's why I'm kind of like, mate, you had reshoots and it come out like that? Really? And you could just tell it was reshoots. You could just tell, like, they just had no effort and they were just like, we've got the story now, we're just going to put little filler bits in, and that's basically what this whole film was, which was a huge filler thing for the Avengers film, Thunderbolts, and probably something else down the line, I can't remember. But yeah, the fight happens, which, if you know the comics, Red Hulk should be either, to defeat Red Hulk, he's got to be either angered to the point he over-angers and comes like a ball of flames and just lets all of his energy out. Or you would put him into some sort of, like, water or something like that, like a lake or the ocean or something like that to cool off, something like that. I think that's what it is anyway. Or just fight him till he's dead. All right, that's basically how you fight him. Not in this film, however. Yeah. He's got a vibranium wings. I keep on saying Falcon. Cap has got vibranium wings. One gets ripped off. So as Hulk's about to ground slam, Cap just sort of turns around, uses his wings, and sort of stabs. That's sort of like Tai Chi there. He stabs the Hulk, Red Hulk. And he's like, oh, it's hurting me, whatever. And then Cap just goes bang and sends like a vibranium blast, which sends them flying. He's under rubble. Both of them are under rubble. And that's when that bit from earlier that I was on about, it was like they're removing the rubble, and I was thinking, oh my god, it's Hulk. He's gonna fucking whoop Red Hulk's ass and stuff like that. No, 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 mate. No. You would think that, but no. Falcon just gets up from the rubble after his bones have just been crushed. He gets up and kind of does a fucking Miles Morales hey, right? And he's just like, Hulk, man, you know, you got your daughter. Look at the pink trees around you. Think about your daughter. And it was basically the Black Widow to Hulk's the sun's getting real low sort of thing. And then obviously Red Hulk turns into Aiden Ross. Aiden Ross is in the you know, that facility in the water, that's kind of like a prison. I think that's where like Ultron met Iron Man and stuff in Age of Ultron, that place. He's in confinement in there, solitary confinement. They're having a chat, and then his daughter finally gets to see him. And they have like a reunization. Is that the word I'm looking for? I don't know. I'm too tired. It's what time is it now? It's about 11 o'clock at night for me right now. I watched this at 7:10 and I've just got back now. They have their little bit of solitude, you know, like, family, because, you know, it's all about family in these films nowadays. And then Falcon, I'm going to say Falcon because he is Falcon, not Cap, but Falcon, the Mexican dude. He got badly injured, he's in hospital, he's recovering, so Cap goes to visit him. Basically, Cap's just told Falcon that he's now an Avenger, basically. That's kind of what happened. They're having a little laugh and going, hi, well, if I'm going to be an Avenger, you better call up the Wakandans and tell them we need some vibranium for our suits, man, and blah, blah, blah. They're having a little chuckle away and ha, 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 ha. Goes to black, and obviously credits go. Plays I from Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar had some songs in this film, so another Marvel movie with Kendrick in it. We like that, that's fine. And then it was like, oh, I wonder what the first end credit's going to be. No first end credits. Damn! And then you had to wait till the entire end credits, the entire credits to go for the end credits. Which was, just basically Marvel confirming what we already knew. But before I tell you about that, the film started, right? And this is kind of a funny story, right? My mum was dropping me and my brother off, because it was me and my brother went to go see this. My brother's like, I really want to get there on time because I love just sitting in a movie theatre, sat there and listening to the the Marvel Studios theme song to pump you up for a film. And I'm like, I totally agree with you. Deadpool and Wolverine made that 10 times better when Deadpool was singing it and he was like, oh, that gets you pumped, man. Like that bit, it was like, yes, Deadpool, yes, it does. It gets you pumped. Did they involve it in this film? No! It was in black and white with no sound. It was just Marvel Studios presents. Had that bit with Aiden Ross, and it was Captain America Brave New World, and then it just sort of started the film, and it was like, that's the best part of a Marvel movie, you just took it away. Anyway, end credits scene. Cap is now in solitary confinement with the leader. He's talking to the leader, basically a load of waffle again. And he says, you know, I can see into the future. Like, this is from Brainiac. He's like, I can see into the future. I've seen multiple versions of your reality. And like, do you really think you're the only one? And it's obviously like Cap going, well, yeah, I mean, I'm my own person. I'm in my own world. I believe it is just us. So, well, you're wrong, my friend. There's other universes out there. And in a few years' time, they're all going to come here and you lot are going to be fucked, basically. Basically just confirming that Secret Wars is going to have Toby, Wolverine, all these multiverse characters kind of confirmed to come in Secret Wars. That's literally the end credits. That is all it is about. It's just hyped for the Avengers film. Nothing to do with Thunderbolts, nothing to do with Fantastic Four. Like, do you remember when Marvel movies used to hype up the film after the next one? Do you remember that? No, they're just trying to hype up the big boy film, the big Avengers film, which they used to do in the Avengers films. Do you remember that? Years ago in the first Avengers and then Age of Ultron, they used to hype up Thanos as this big level threat thing. No, not anymore. Not in Marvel movies anymore. They'll do a little tweak of something that's coming up next. Like they'll put Bucky in for the Thunderbolts in the film. Fair enough. And then, yeah, they'll just make the end credits be like, oh, yeah, here's a film that's going to come out in the next sort of 2, 3, maybe 5 years from now. Enjoy. Like, the Marvels, for example. Just Beast and Storm just, like, out of nowhere. Where the fuck have they been? That film's, like, what, 3 years ago? Where have they been since? Nowhere, mate. Nowhere. So, yeah, so the Savo review for this film... the first ever review and the first ever film on this excuse me, first ever movie review, Savo movie review, Captain America Brave New World. That's the other side of it, by the way. IMAX 3D. I kind of feel like IMAX and 3D made it a little bit better. I wanted to go watch it in 4DX, which I think might have made it better for the dogfights. If I watched this in 2D, it would be a 4.5. But because of the IMAX, because of the 3D, because of the cinematography, and simply because I was waiting for a Marvel movie, because I was bored up my freaking peanut, mate, a decent 7.5 out of 10. That's the most I'm giving this film. It's fine. I said this to Chloe. I said, would I watch it again by myself if I'm that bored? No, I wouldn't. But if it was on at, say, Christmas, it was a family film, sit down, would you want to watch this with the family because it's on as we're eating something or we're doing something in the meantime and it was on in the background? Fair enough. I'd sit there and watch it and do something else and watch it. But yeah, nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you round. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, all that jazz. And yeah, some Savo content for you. Woo! We're going to probably make this into a new thing now because we have had kind of like a bunch more movies coming up that I'll probably go watch and review for you guys. Whether you want this to be a continuation thing or not, let me know. And we will see you on the flip. Peace!